They really did it. And let me just go ahead and say from the beginning, they couldn't just tell the kid, like, oh, well, we made a title in your name, but now the boxing fans are pissed. So we got to take it back. Now, unfortunately, to give you guys some perspective, and if you don't know how this title came about, I got all this technology so we can go down memory lane and let you know who Bridger Walker is and why I am disgusted with the WBC Bridgerweight title. By the way, it's not the kid's fault. Shout out to the kid and his family. True great story. It's unfortunate that the WBC had to drag him into this, man. Just my opinion. So let's go down memory lane. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Here's the news story. And then we'll go from there. Please subscribe.
Seen the young Wyoming boy who protected his sister from being attacked by a dog. He had serious injuries to his face. Thanks to a social media post from his aunt, he's now world famous. Denver 7's Sean Toll met the boy and his family today as they came here to Denver for a very special shopping spree.
Bridger Walker is smiling for a big reason Saturday.
Because I like candy.
The 6-year-old who was injured saving his little sister from a dog attack a couple weeks ago got a candy shopping spree at It's Sugar in Denver. Just the latest in a long line of people reaching out to thank him.
It's been surreal. Never expected any of this to go viral the way it did. We literally were just hoping for some postcard or a shout out or a letter just to boost our little boy's spirits.
Instead,
I got a Captain America shield.
And I'm going to send you an authentic Captain America shield.
Captain America Chris Evans promised a shield. Fellow Avengers Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. also reached out, wanting to reward a little real-life hero.
He's always been very protective of his little girl. She's always been his little princess, and she gets annoyed sometimes that he won't leave her alone. And he's always by her side, so it didn't surprise us at all that he would jump in the way he did.
Bridger received gifts of support from all over the world, but his parents say the attention hasn't gone to his head.
I actually asked him the other day, does this make you any more special? And he said, no. I said, well, what makes you special? And he said, I'm me. And that meant a lot to us.
So the sugar rush may be the latest chapter for this little hero, one the family is so thankful for.
The world's a good place, and that there's hundreds and thousands and millions of wonderful people in this world.
And this...
My bad, somebody was at the door. So basically, as you can see, this kid is a superstar. Now, from a boxing standpoint, boxing doesn't need another division. This is an organization, the WBC, who just unveiled what is called, earlier this year, was it last year? A franchise championship. It's not a belt, it's a status, and it has caused so much confusion in boxing because, let's say, for example, here, let's go pull up some rankings here, and I'll show you what I mean. In the 135-pound division, you have the champion, boxing fans, but for the casuals who are watching, called Teofimo Lopez. Look, they put that shit up there, and I got to do that shit too. And he can't be considered, it's divided on whether he can be considered an undisputed champion or not, because even though he should be, Devin Haney, a guy who Fight News doesn't have listed, by the way, is the actual champion. Basically, they have two belts in a sport where we have too many belts. For example, right now, these are belts that are considered championships in boxing. Some of them, like the WBA Gold, doesn't even have a title yet, meaning a definition in the WBA rulebook. I talked to the WBA president about it. So the point I'm trying to make is this. Boxing now has Lopez, Haney's not listed, but there's 1, 2 belts right there. Lopez, Haney, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Possibly 9 belts if there's a WBC interim. 8 titles, 1 status. An interim belt for the WBA, a gold belt, a world belt, a WBA regular belt. Love me some Mike Tyson, but he out of the loop. Just because he's a boxer doesn't mean he right or he knows what's really, best for the sport. You know, everybody has their opinion. He says shit like, well, boxing needs more belts. I love the rant that Mayweather went on, even with his own fighters, like there's too many belts. Floyd Mayweather went on a rant. In fact, we're going to play that. The WBC just created another belt. Now, we're going to dive deep into these rankings. So, from my understanding, you can't weigh no more than, so it's between 200 and 224. You can't weigh no more than 224. And the fighters that they have listed are usually, lower than 224. It's bananas, man. It's outrageous. So let me say this. Let's take a jump cut. We're going to go listen to Floyd for a little bit because it's relevant. It's relevant. And the thing is, the division is not going to go anywhere now. And this poor kid, it's not his fault. Well, one thing I've noticed, nobody's mad at him. By the way, please take your time out to like the video, subscribe. We're doing a lot of new things around here, man. I'm here. I've been talking about it for fucking 2+ years now. We're here. So I'm much more comfortable in doing videos. Like I like, being able to go off the cuff and just tear the WBC a new asshole because they deserve it. Mauricio Suleiman on Twitter was getting harassed. He was saying he was having like sleepless nights and shit because they tearing his ass up on social media. Like, yo, you won't even order Canelo or nobody or certain people to fight. But yeah, I gotta make sure my dog is not eating his bed. Oh, he's just licking his nuts. Yeah, you gotta he can't, basically, he's been, the WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman, has been aiding in fighters not fighting each other because he's scared to tell a guy who does move the needle, like Canelo, oh, Canelo, you have a mandatory with Jamal Charlo. You have to fight him. No, just create a status for him because they don't want Canelo dropping their belt anymore. Canelo how these organizations bring in money. You know what? This is the perfect time for a jump cut so I can pull up some, information. Let me pull up Floyd first, and then we're going to listen to him. We got 20 minutes or so. And then we're going to jump right into the WBC rule book to show you exactly how much money they make from fighters making up bullshit belts and shit. So 9 times out of 10, when you see them make up a belt, like, the prestigious Mayan fucking belt, the Blue Moon Horizon belt, they getting some type of publicity or some type of money from the fighters or the fight or the promoters or whatever. Come on, man. They miss me with the bullshit, man. I'm tired of it. Let's go listen to Floyd on TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Yeah, listen in. Soak this in because this is some real shit right here. It's for real. Like, boxing has so many issues because of all these belts. So many issues. It's like, what is it called? Like when you do the little circle and the spider webs and shit and how it branches out. And you could do a circle and branch that out to other shit. Like these belts create so many issues on fighters not fighting each other. You got those WBA underling belts. Let's just let Floyd talk. Listen to this. There's some real shit right here.
And go up and fight a guy, they're gonna say, you know what, he's over the hill. And with the sport of boxing, and I want to say this right now about the sport of boxing. I don't want everybody at home to hear me when I say this. A belt, I'm tired and I'm at home, and this goes for any company. I don't care if it's Top Rank, if it's Golden Boy, if it's Mayweather Promotions, if it's PBC. There's too many champions in the sport of boxing right now. Too many champions. It's not a such thing as a super champion, not at all. And I'm not taking nothing away from no fighter. It's too many belts. And the reason why is too. Let me tell people what's going on in the sport of boxing, why there are so many different titles and so many different belts. People don't know you have to pay for every belt that you win, there's a sanctioning fee. So now if a fighter wins an interim belt, he has to pay a sanctioning fee. If a fighter has just the regular belt, he has to pay a sanctioning fee. Then if a fighter is a super champion, then he has to pay a sanctioning fee. This is not good for the sport of boxing. When the sport of now, when a fighter fights, every fighter is a champion. Now, after you see no belts is like a fighter winning the amateur trophy. Everybody is the champion. Everybody have a belt. Now we look at the lightweight division, okay? And I want to say The fight the other day was a hell of a fight. Congratulations to the winner. He done his job. He went out there and did what he had to do. But if Devin Haney is the WBC champion at lightweight, right? And Gervonta Tank Davis is the WBA champion. Now, it's safe to say that Talifimo is the champion he's the champion, the IBF and a WBO champion. But I can't knock what he has done, because I have to take my hat off to him, you know, for what he has done. And then we talk about different fighters proving themselves. There's no different from Marquez. They're gonna say, oh, Mayweather was the bigger guy.
Yeah, this was a whole wacky situation, but that was the words of truth right there. You know, there's too many, and where we don't have enough clarity on the titles that we have now. You know, for example, there was a whole big thing on like, well, if Teofimo defeats Loma, is he a franchise champion? Like, remember that shit for the boxing fans? So, you know, it's sickening, you know, so let's go, but they did it. It's here now. It's not going nowhere. They did it. And in order for these fighters to be here, these fighters got emails and probably signed up for this shit. Likely they gave their okay, their blessing. So which means a fight for this shit is going to happen sometime soon for the title. So I'm guessing we're going to see Oscar Rivas versus this guy, Rad Miri from Belgium. Kevin Lerena, Dmitry Kochishkov. Lord knows I'm butchering these names. Evgeny Romanov, B.Y. Jennings, Arthur Spielka, Alan Babbitt, Marco Hook. Look at these people. Isaac Chamberlain. And then look. Let's look up who their top rated. Let's look up some of these guys. Let me pull up the names of some of these guys here. Let's see. Carlos Welch. Let's see here. Boxer. Let's see here. This guy. This guy right here is ranked number 16. 40 years old. Right there on the cusp of a WBC Bridgerweight ranking. Basically, like, he could be called on for a voluntary. Look. What's he doing fighting over? Man, they did it. The WBC, they did it. Let's go pull up those WBC rules and show you exactly how much they make off of these. Hey, you know what? I was going to pause the video, but let's do it real time. So about, I would say 5 years, maybe. I was with a company called Real Combat Media. Damn shame that, you know, we didn't work out. Partly my fault, my motherfucking baby mom. That's why I'm suing. Not them, but, you know. But basically, one of the things I did was go through the rules and regulations. I feel that, you know, we should do that as media. We should know, like, the rules for the champions and what the belts mean and sanctioning bodies and all that, you know. So I went through all this stuff. Basically, you can Google it and it'll tell you, you know, you can, you know, see all this shit. And that's when I first started calling the WBA out on their bullshit. They revised their rule book too about 2-3 years ago because they was under so much scrutiny from media that actually started digging, especially when it came to the WBA Super World title. But basically, it tells you, you know, in here, you know, like, for example, here, right here is under privilege to participate in a purse offer. The WBC may reject any purse bid offer received from a promoter not in good standing with the WBC. Wait, let's move on here. Each promoter participating in the purse offer procedure shall pay a mandatory, non-refundable participation fee to the WBC as follows. So just to be involved with a purse bid, you got to show that you got some money. You got to pay them heavyweight, $10,000. Heavyweight's bringing a lot of money. Cruiserweight, middleweight division, 7,500. Super welterweight to super bantamweight, 5,000. Bantamweight, strawweight, 2,500. Like, this is some good information you guys should know, you know. Division of proceeds, this is, let you know how the purse bid goes. 70% of the remaining 90 will be for the champion, blah, blah, blah. That's good information, but that's not the information I'm looking for. I was looking for, is this it? Rights, promoters, or holding options? A lot of stuff here. I wonder when this was revised. I don't remember seeing it like this. A lot more detailed. But WBC belts. There you go. So here's a good section right here. It tells you what the belts mean, and champion must bring his belt into the ring. The belt must be shown. I remember PBC didn't like that shit when they first started. Presentation of the belts, award of the belt. This is, valuable stuff. Timing of defenses, recognition of subject to forfeit, qualified, challengers, voluntary. I guess we're getting close. We're looking for sanctioning fees. I could have just read the index, right? Elimination bouts. Now, these rules, of course, I suggest that in fact, I'm going to put this down below in the description box. And this is a good tool for the hardcore boxing fans, especially if motherfuckers try to, bullshit around and think they know what they're talking about, pull out that rule book on their ass. But see, for us, it's not like we're looking at a whole bunch of shit that we can't decipher. Like, we boxing fans, so what this shit means. Like, for example, obtain, let's see, by making such requests, WBC champion shall be deemed to automatically agree forfeit title. See, we know what this shit mean. Special rule regarding a multiple division world champion. So say, for example, like Floyd was 147 simultaneous WBC at 147 and 154. This tells you, the rules of that. Filing for a vacant title. Damn, where are the sanctioning fees? Champion in recess status, what it means in certain cases. Under WBC may, in their discretion, designate a champion in recess. Interim championship rule. Diamond championship is a special award and distinction. And as you can see, the franchise isn't here. Here it is. Okay. Franchise boxer. The franchise boxer is a special designation and status which the WBC may bestow to a current WBC world champion who is an elite boxer and who has achieved and maintains the highest of statures in the sport. In its discretion, that means they can pretty much do what they want. WBC may upon a 2/3 vote of the board of governors designate in each weight category one WBC franchise boxer. A franchise boxer shall enjoy special status with respect to his or her mandatory obligations, holding multiple titles and competing for titles of other organizations as the WBC Board of Governors in its sole discretion rules on a case-by-case basis. So they can make anybody a motherfucking franchise champion. Yeah, this is new. This was I'm looking for the sanctioning fee stuff, though. But you see what I'm saying here? It's like, I guess the point I'm trying to make is, we got too much shit going on right now. Like, them not ordering mandatories for them to make another division. And a lot of people, including myself, was thinking that they probably made this division for Wilder because they want Wilder to have his own belt. I personally kind of think that. WBC made the franchise for Canelo. I really think that they tried to make this division for Wilder, and Wilder himself has said, nah, I don't want no Bridgerweight title, And the thing is, you can expect probably for other sanctioning bodies, like the WBA, oh shit, let's lick our chops. Now you're making more belts. Now it's like this, that I believe that there should have been, if you make another division, then why not between 175 and 200? Why not a 185 or something like that? Why not something like that? We just don't need it right now. I can see if the WBC did a meeting or a Zoom, listen, we're cleaning up. Mandatories will fight mandatories. We're not bowing down to the dollar anymore. I can see if they did that shit first and said, all right, but we do need another division for our heavyweights and super heavyweights. It's no, y'all not ready for no shit like that, man. Like, it pisses me off. Yeah, this is all new. I haven't seen this version before. It pisses me off, man. Like, and you got to think, like, would like do the fighters like, okay, say for example, is Oscar Rivas now not ranked at heavyweight? So how he's not ranked at heavyweight no more? How does this work? And what about Usyk? Did Usyk say, nah, I'm a full heavyweight. I don't want to fucking fight for no Bridgerweight shit? So, and that Oscar Rivas is not ranked? So he said, nah, I want to fight for this belt to be a world champion. I guess they want to be like the first, Bridgerweight champion. I guess that's the move. Fucking shit, man. Anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. It's some bullshit. Please subscribe for every single major fight live.